I wanted to tell you guys about something, one of my pet peeves, man. I built this badass motorized bike. I call it Warrior Cycles. Got a little sign out front on my gate that I built. Had to build a gate out there because the public's refused to obey the noise ordinance. And they still keep me up. Probably heard that beeping noise just now, right? That's them. Well, I wanted to tell y'all that I built this badass little motorized bike, you know. And I posted it on Craigslist, man. I wanted to advertise it on Craigslist, and if anybody out there wanted one, I wanted to make somebody one, and it's not really a lot of work for me now because I know how to make them. You know, in the beginning it was really difficult, but just do little by little on it slowly. You know, you don't get too carried away. That's the secret, you know. And you set a goal, you know, and that goal, it cannot be 2 or 3 things. You know, it has to be one thing. It has to be one thing and one thing only normally. So it might be one simple thing on one part of something, like the end piece of a jack shaft, you know, where you've got to make 2 of them little housings, man. One of them's for one bearing and one of them's for 2 bearings. So, you know, you got one of them that's about 4 inches long, and one of them that's about 1.5 inches or 2 inches. Excuse me. The end piece on mine was probably more like 1 inch, you know. It was, or less, man, 3/4 of an inch. I had it down to nothing, man. The reason for it is you didn't want it to come out too far to your left-hand side and hit your foot when you were pedaling the bike, you know. But I'm glad that the Lakeland Police Department and Sheriff, no state troopers, no one has bothered me. When they see that bicycle, you know, they know this stuff's been before the judge, and it's considered a motorized bicycle. It's not a motorized vehicle, but it is a motorized bike. But it's not a motorized vehicle. It doesn't need registration tag. And however, you do need a driver's license to operate it. That's the law. You know, whether it makes any sense, I mean, it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense to me. I don't think that there should be a driver's license required to ride one of the motorized bicycles, you know, because again, it's definitely been deemed by the authorities not to be a motorized vehicle. It doesn't require registration here in the state of Florida in Polk County. It doesn't require a tag. The only thing the cops ask you when they pull you over, and I've only been pulled over one time, and the other time it was like he's pulling somebody over in a car fixing to turn left in front of him. He rolls the window down, and while he's pulling somebody over, you got a license? Shook my head, yeah, you know, kept right on going, man. So technically I've been questioned twice. And I've been riding a bike, man, for about 3 years, I guess, almost every day of my life, you know, riding the hell out of it, thousands of miles. And it's a bicycle, you know, with a motor on it. It's just that simple. And I'm glad that they let me ride it, because if they didn't let me ride it, that would be another example of the lack of freedom that we have in this country, you know, but that's not the case, so I really appreciate that. And I read the Florida statute law on it before I bought my first kit, you know, and because I didn't want to go through all that shit, you know, and it said as long as you had a driver's license. Well, I got a driver's license, you know. And I posted on Craigslist, and this dude Russ on there, man, here in Lakeland or Winter Haven, wherever he is. He'll put multiple postings on there, South Florida, Winter Haven, Lakeland. I don't know where he's from, but I called one of the ads one time and I said, hey, you got a motorized bike for sale on Craigslist? Is this Russ? He said, yeah. I said, what's the deal on that Warrior Cycles, man? He said, oh, that guy's crazy. I said, how do you know? He said, have you ever seen his house? I said, what's wrong with his house, man? And I told him, Russ, I'm going to give you an opportunity to say that to my face, man. I'm serious as a mother, man. You don't know me. I'll tell you something. I haven't fucked with anybody in a long goddamn time, and you motherfuckers will find out why they call me bipolar and why I draw a disability check for it, motherfucker. You will. You will find out. Motherfucker. I'm the kind of guy that when I talk like I'm talking right now, sometimes the goddamn police will come out here and see me. You know why? Because they're concerned about me, man. And I'll tell you, the honest to goodness truth, the ones that know me, which they don't really know me because I don't make no waves or create no attention for myself. I'm not a bully or a troublemaker, but I'm being bullied right now. I'm being bullied, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be fucking bullied, okay? And furthermore, I was thinking about that earlier, man. I was thinking, you know what? I am not known, you know, to threaten people and bully people. And now somebody said I did one time, you know. And of course, this great fucking nation that we're in, they don't give a fuck about what I've got to say. If I tell them that Publix isn't obeying the noise ordinance over here, all they got to do is come over here and they can see that. They don't give a fuck about that, you know, what's in my better interest, right? They don't ever want to listen to me. But if somebody out there tells them something, oh, they're so willing to listen to them then, man. It's the gospel coming right out of their mouth, right? So if somebody fucking says, that's what we got a he say, she say fucking nation now, man. Where you don't need any evidence to support a crime. They hope no fucking habeas corpus. Just lock people up for no fucking reason. Keep everybody shut down and fucking scared. Fuck you motherfuckers, man.